Keyword Cruise here, your life applications officer. I should be in bed. It's late. Hold on a second. I didn't turn this off. Gonna give me problems. Okay, D-Roy Cruz here, your life applications officer. I should be in bed, but everybody's talking about the George Floyd thing, and I gotta admit, I'm having more conversations with black folks over this crap than I've had all year. I'm surprised of how many black people agree with me on a lot of things that I stand for, and I was ready to only one lady got mad at me. She didn't get mad at me. She decided that she better go do her job and do what she's supposed to be doing before she loses her cool, because she knows that I can say one sentence or ask one question that blows this whole black victimization, black religion of racism thing, and even white folks will sympathize you when I get done with you. Okay? Even white folks will sympathize with you like, I thought I was hard on black folks. That black guy is really hard on black folks, okay? Because they've become content with the idea that they need to apologize to you for being superior to you. How did I get superior? Or how did they get superior? If someone thinks they're superior to you, where'd they get that from? See, if somebody walk in a room and I'm sitting there, he starts mumbling to himself, starts talking to 2 or 3 people when ain't nobody there but him, and he ain't talking to me. I'm going to have a certain way I handle that guy. I'm going to have a certain way I talk to him. And somebody might look at me and say, well, you're talking down to him, or you're you know what I'm saying? Or I might be afraid of him. I don't want him behind me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm afraid he'll steal my wallet or something. Because why? He got some issues up here. Right? Somebody walk up to you and start talking about, violence. I don't care whether they black, white, Indian, Spanish, whatever they are. You ain't going to want them standing behind you. You ain't going to want them getting close to you. And you're going to really watch what you say around them. If somebody just got out of prison, and they come out of prison and they want to tell everybody, they want to let everybody know they just got out of prison. See, some people think that helps them. It doesn't. They want to let everybody know, like that's your secret. You were cleared. You don't have to explain that to anybody. You're off. You paid your sentence, and whether your sentence holds you back from doing certain things or not, and getting around and doing things, you don't need to tell people that. You're just responsible to watch yourself. That's all. But you don't have to tell people, oh, you know, like there was a guy at the bus stop, white dude, matter of fact, down at the bus stop when I first moved into this town. He came down on a bus stop and he thought he could talk to me because I'm black. He thought he could just vent on me about him just getting out of prison. I backed up 20 feet. He just assumed that because I'm black, that maybe I've been to prison before. So I know what it's like to walk in his shoes. No, I don't. And I've had my problems with white cops. They wanted to put me in prison. It ain't happening. Because see, what black folks don't understand, this is 2020. Last time I had to deal with cops at a police station, a holding cell might have been, let me think. It was after my divorce, let me think. Maybe back in 2004. But see, that what y'all don't understand is that this is Jim Crow's dead. Y'all don't understand. You have access. See, it's just like I'm not going to show you. I got it in my pocket, but I'm not going to show you. But okay, access. You live in the United States. Okay? You have access, okay, to the United States. You've been cleared to work in the United States. Have you? Most black people I know ain't here on a visa. They ain't here on a green card. But the African guy is coming here on a visa, coming here on a green card or something, works harder than you, more dedicated to the job than you, can get through at least 2 weeks through these so-called racist white people before he gives up. Before he gets mad and loses his temper about something. But you've been granted access into the United States when Jim Crow was conquered. Okay? You were granted access into the United States when you were given a right to vote. And the right to buy and sell. Everybody, whether they're white, black, or whatever they are, once they become a legal citizen in the United States, they have the right to buy and sell and own property. They have the right to own property here in the United States. A lot of you black people own property. Some of y'all got more than one house. Some of y'all got 2, 3, 4 cars. Somewhere in there you seem to think that oh, because some white dude don't like you. A lot of white people don't like me. And I got them both. I got racist white people that don't like me. And then I got these Democrats who want me to think they ain't racist. They're the biggest racists ever. Who want to baby me. And when I don't have anything for them to baby me about, then they get a little offended and think that I'm trying to be something that I'm not. Hold up. Let me repeat that. There's a lot of white people that got you black folks fooled. Just like this preacher I just got done listening. He got me fired up. I just got done listening to this preacher on the bus on the way home. White preacher. He going to take us all the way back to slavery and remind us why black people are going through what they're going through. Well, wait a minute. Black people once went through. Yes. We went through all that, and that was the beginning of some of the things that we act out now. But he forgot to add that now we're on the same level as any immigrant that comes to this country and is a legal citizen. We're no longer slaves, we're legal citizens of the United States. What part of that don't you understand? What don't you understand about that? I don't give a rat's behind if some white dude don't like me. I don't give a rat's behind if 150 white people don't like me. I don't care if my next door neighbor don't like me. This is mine. I pay the rent up in here. And I've met, cocky white people, cocky cops, white and black, white and black, white and black. These black cops are some of the worst when it comes to being cocky. Oh yeah, they don't stick their knee in your neck as fast as these white cops. They don't get away with some of the stuff that these white cops get away with. But let me tell you something. They are the cockiest people you ever want to meet. And who do they practice cockiness with? Black people. They don't dare do that to white people. But some of these black cops, oh God, if they pull you over for speeding, they ain't going to have no mercy on your black behind. Whether it's because they don't want to look like they just giving you a pass because you're black, or because once they become cops, they start to feel like, and I meet them every day. They start to feel like they're above you as a black person. That they ain't really black. That if they take that uniform off, they ain't going to be treated just like any other black guy. They seem to forget that. They get all cocky. The white man want to give you a break. The black cop want to be all harsh. And try to act like, oh, you don't get a pass just because you black. I wasn't asking for a pass. I was asking, for some mercy. I'd have asked the white cop the same thing. Looks bad on you if the white man give it to me and you fronting. You hating. Looks bad on you, brother. You want to go that route, go ahead. I don't care if somebody don't like me. Somebody look at me the wrong way. They worried, a little afraid when I get into their town. I'm trying to wrap my head around. I'll get back to the end of, we're going to call this George Floyd week. Okay? Because all this week, probably I'll do my last video on George Floyd and these riots. I'll probably do end this on Monday or Tuesday, but this Monday or Tuesday coming up. But right now, I have this and I have some Jesse Lee Peterson quotes I want to go over. Jesse Lee Peterson kind of tipped me off tonight because this is where I thank God that not only do I study the Word of God, the Bible, but I also study, you know, race and the way we act and, you know, our human setbacks and, you know, our chromosomes, our personalities and that. I'm really, 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 really a researcher of this stuff. I can't wrap my head around, though, so I don't make this a long video. Why black people? You say that with all these, like I said in the last two videos, when I walk outside my door every day, I don't see 100 white people. I might see 2, 3, 4, 5. The rest of them are Spanish. The rest of them are either Indian, they black, Asian, anything but white. Now you say we're under systematic racism and white privilege. I'm still trying to wrap my head around two things. Number one, do you know that white people ain't the only ones that don't like you? Since you think that it's all about you and white people, you need to read the news, you need to read the newspaper, you need to go visit some Chinese restaurants, get your nails done by some Chinese. You know what I'm saying? You need to go visit Japan, China, you name it. Okay? If white people don't like you, Asians hate you even more. Trust me. Who don't speak to black folks every day when they walk by? It ain't white people. White people say hello to everybody. No matter what. They say hello and they say goodbye. Who don't say hello and who don't say goodbye unless you say hello first? Who? Now you might say, well, you know, you got to understand they don't, you know, that they're foreign, you know, foreign country language barriers, blah, 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 blah. They don't like to have to speak English unless they really have to. Hold up. They ain't got a problem doing it to white people. I know Asian people. I used to work with them, protect them, do security there. University of Pittsburgh. Watch these Asian kids learning English so they can speak to who? Chinese people learning English so that they can speak to Japanese people. Chinese people learning English so they can speak to other Asian people and they can speak to Indian and Arab people. Everything except black people. Not only do the Asians, a lot of Asians hate you more than white people do, but Indians think you are hilarious. They think you got to be the dumbest people on the face of the planet. They look at their skin and they look at you and they feel like you are an embarrassment to them because y'all the same color as them. Okay? Africans don't like a lot of black people when they come to this country. Africans come over here and they think that we're lazy. They feel that we're loud. They feel that we're stupid. We dress funny. We need to keep it in our pants. We need to quit collecting welfare. I've had Africans give me the third degree until they found out that I got a good job. You should have asked me that before you went on this little rant. Matter of fact, I'm on my way to work right now. Sorry I didn't tell you that. But we're going to cut this short. I'm going to go to work. But thank you for the tip, my African brother. Gave me the rundown about, what we should be doing instead of being on the street, instead of, all this laziness and loitering and rioting and crime and going to prison and, Even gave me the number of Africans in prison. First blacks. What is so special about black people? This is the question. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it. Now, this preacher that I just got done listening to, he thinks that what's so special about black people is that black people are the Israelites that were given over into slavery and okay, spit it out, Mr. Preacher Man. So you started making up things when you got to the part about today. Oh yeah, you darn straight right. When you went all the way in the past. But see, there was a time when we were not allowed to vote. There was a time you couldn't buy a house. You slept and lived wherever they put you. There was a time where you couldn't own a business. There was a time when everything that was worth anything, whites were the only people that could touch it. And during that time, there were more of you and less of these immigrants. Or should I say, other nations in this country. There was less Indians here at that time. There were less Asian people here at that time. Okay? But I can't wrap my head around what is so special about black people that, first of all, it's white people that hate us, black people. I don't get that. Explain this to me. You keep thinking that it's about you and white people. Did George Floyd need to be black to have some white guy put his knee in his neck and kill him while he was strung out on alcohol and whatever other physical condition he might have had or going through at that time? Did he have to be black in order to take a knee in the neck? Did it take a white guy to put his knee in his neck? Is the color of skin the only reason why somebody would put their knee in your neck and hold you down there until you die? I've had people back in the day sucker punch me because of the dumbest reason. Oh, the girl that they like was talking to me. You know, I had a guy try to choke me one time because I wouldn't give him a free ride home. He owed me money, so I said, hey, I'm not taking you home this week. You're going to have to get somebody else. When you pay me the money that you owe me, then I'll go back to taking you home. Before I could finish, and he was black. And I can honestly say, there's times when white men have put their hands on me and had nothing to do with me being black. How do you, well, D-Roy, how do you know? Why do I need to know? This is where I don't get it. Why do I need to know? Do I have to be black? Does he have to be white? Does it have to be a black and white issue? Like this preacher said. He started off the video with, oh, well, it is a black and white issue. It was. When there wasn't nobody here but us, okay, and white people. Maybe that's why black people think that they're special. Because at one time, we were the only thing that they were trying to control. But if I go down to the bus stop down here, there's a Democrat lady down there who don't like Donald Trump. But the stuff that black people accuse of Donald Trump for comes out of her mouth all the time. She don't like immigrants. She likes me. But she talks about everybody that ain't black or white. She talks very, very, very stereotypical and rude of them. Why is that? Now, she's learned to adjust to black people. She found out she ain't really got to adjust to me. I'm D-Roy Cruz. You can be your white self. I don't need you to adjust to me because I'm not a victim. You can act the same way around me you would another white person. Spit it out. So she does. And she don't like immigrants. So bad that she's moving again. She don't want to live around them. And the black, but then I found out she didn't make a big issue about that, maybe because she didn't want to offend me. The black guys are giving her more trouble than the immigrants are. It's the two black guys that live upstairs that are giving her all this chaos. And she knows that I'm so much of a neighbor, and she knows that I'm so against, I guess racism, if you want to call it that I might be crazy enough to go talk to them black guys and say, hey, why don't you cut this lady some slack? Y'all know the rules around here. We got property rules. Clean up your mess. Go down there and clean up your garbage. You know it's yours. Why are you going to wait for her to come up there and say something smart, and then next thing you know, you're going to call it racism when you clearly let the garbage go down to her property? I was very tempted to go, walk up on these brothers and say something, because I know one of them. I'll be glad when he's gone, because he's trouble. But why you? In closing, let me get to it. Why you? Why black people? We got all these immigrants here, and I keep calling them immigrants. They're American citizens, but I mean, non-black people that ain't white living here in the United States. They're doctors, nurses, lawyers. You know what I'm saying? They own mosques all over the place. They own other forms of real estate, hotels, gas stations. You know what I mean? They sell Chinese food. They got Chinese joints, Japanese joints. You know what I'm saying? All over the place. They doing nails and pedicures, and they doing all kinds of things. But they don't never go on this rant where they feel like they're victims of racism, systematic white racism and white privilege. But yet when I talk to my neighbor, she ain't got nothing good to say about any of them. She got stereotypical personal feelings about all of them. So what makes you so special, black people, that white people still got it out for you? You don't accuse the Asians as much. And I know personally that they ain't too crazy about us. But you don't accuse the Asians as much of being racist. You don't accuse the Indians, oh my God, and the Spanish. I've had some Spanish warn me not to cross a certain line, not to show up in certain neighborhoods. I went to Maryland University. That's only 6 hours from here. Guy warned me, you don't want to go in this neighborhood. I forget what it was called, but it was right before you get to Maryland University. University of Maryland, whatever. Okay? Don't be in that neighborhood at night. They don't want you black behind in there. Same thing with Miami. You got to be careful about being in the residential part of Miami, especially the residential part of Miami at night. And then, black folks, they hating on white people, but white people don't have names. They don't have cities named after them or named after some city in Europe or some town in Europe or some kind of, UK language from the UK or something. Russian language or German language or something in most cases. In most cases. There's some. But you know who got cities named after them? All over the U.S.? First of all, Florida and California are basically Spanish states. Almost every city has a Spanish name to it. Okay? We got Little Korea. We got Chinatown in several states. We got Japanese towns in several states. We got Russian areas and Germans and French and Jews. Jews have a lot of territory in this country in various states and cities. You would think that if white people wanted to hate on somebody, it'd be on somebody that got something. My goodness, black people, wake up. If you would think that if white people want to hate on somebody and don't want them to succeed, they want them to stay a victim, they want them to stay a slave, how come the Jews ain't complaining about this? After all, they've been through it. They've been through the Depression. They've been slaves before. They've been abused and attacked and suffered poverty and affliction. To the Germans and several other countries. And everywhere they had to migrate, they were treated like third-class citizens. But when somebody Jewish gets killed, like when they destroyed this Jewish temple right here in Squirrel Hill, right here in Pittsburgh. Oh, sure. The day after the shooting, guy went in there and killed 40-some Jews. Oh yeah, they did a visual outside and wrote down the names on the wall of all the Jews that were killed in there, including other Americans. Wasn't none of them black. Okay? But nobody marched. Nobody got into a riot. Jews don't do stuff like that. They didn't get into a riot and go to rioting and looting. Same thing with a lot of these Indians. And I'm one that don't have much good to say about Muslims. But just like a lot of these Indians, and there's a difference between Indians and Arabs. But just like a lot of these Indians here, okay, they were killed by police. Did you read that in the news? Indians being accused of terrorism, okay, and they protest, but they do it totally different than what black people do it. They use the media against them. They put it all up in the news, and they get television programs all over the world to talk about it and show the footage and all this stuff. And they invest money to make a case about these things until something is done. Even Donald Trump is careful how he handles, as much as he's, waiting for somebody to even show any signs of terrorism or even thinking about it. He's very careful how he deals with these Indians and these Arabs, because why? They make sure they get their respect. But they didn't get it by rioting and looting and marching and acting crazy. They got into it one leader at a time, posted here, and they're all saying the same thing. And everybody's getting an earful. Even people that ain't thinking about it or worried about it, they're hearing it. And they're saying, wow, I didn't know that was going on. Thanks for telling me. But no, we're the only ones that feel that, first of all, we need to go to these major extremes of violence and mayhem in order to get a point across, if that's what we're actually trying to do. If that's what we're actually trying to do in the first place. And then we're the only ones that are in this intimacy with white people that we can't get out of, where we think that everything that we do with white people is black and white. I got white friends that I've gotten fist fights with. I got white friends that we've been yelling and jumping down each other's throat. And at no point in time did anybody think that we were fighting because we were black and white. We were fighting, okay, over who was going to ride shotgun. Who's driving? Who drives better than who? And what did other white people say? What did other black people say? Y'all need a marriage counselor? Didn't nobody say, oh, well, it's getting racial. Maybe D-Roy, you need to go this way and let this brother go this way. Because we didn't see it that way. We understood we're fighting about the situation at hand. It don't make us one racist towards the other. Why you? What is so special about black people that it's always got to be black and white with them? Why are you so positive that it's black and white with you? Why isn't it Asian and white? What is it that the Asians are doing that they ain't got to worry about Asian and white? What is it that these Spanish people are doing that they ain't got to worry about Spanish and white? What is it that these Native Americans are doing that as much as they go through, you hardly ever know about it unless you go there to where they're at? What is it about these Africans that they ain't too crazy about white people either? And they don't like black people any better. To them, blacks and whites are the same people. They're both Americans. Stupid Americans to a lot of them. But yet only black people feel that they're a victim of white supremacy and white slavery, white privilege. Or should I say, systematic racism, systematic white privilege. But other people will talk about white privilege and racism, but they're not the victims. They don't complain. They don't think in terms of black and white about everything. They don't feel that, you're going to pay for what you did to the Jews. You're going to pay for what you did to the Native Americans. You're going to pay, what I'm saying? Only black people can't get past the past. Why you? What is so special about you? Like I said, if somebody wants to hold you down and keep you from escalating and getting anywhere in life, they want to hold you down. It be the one that got the money, that's holding all the money. Black folks ain't holding all the money. It be the one that's holding all the land. Black folks ain't got all the land. It be the one that's beating us at going to college and getting all the education and coming out of college and taking all of our best jobs. Black folks are not filling up the colleges. They're not taking all our best jobs. Asians are taking our best jobs. The Indians are taking our best jobs. But Indians can hang out with white people and celebrate, feast, and celebrate, the big raise the company got or whatever. They celebrate together. But black people are the only ones. What is so special? Think about that. Why are you so special that you have to be stuck in bed, this bed of hatred with white people? And why are you not talking about the Asians? Because they got some racist things to say about you too. Why are you not talking about the Indians? Why are you not talking about some of these Spanish people and their cockiness behavior towards us? But it's just white people. I'm starting to feel like white people are the real victims because they found this country and they brought this country to what it is. Okay? And not only that, but they beat you at bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ, Christianity, even after Martin Luther. They beat you at Christianity. They beat you at freedom. They beat you. That's why everybody hates white people, because they won. And you know what? I'm sorry that y'all I'm sorry for what we put your ancestors through. But guess what? I'm not giving up my spot. And I don't see nothing wrong with me giving the respect for the hard work that I've done that you haven't done. And I give anybody that respect. I give respect to where it's due. I don't care if it makes me look inferior. Okay? Everybody can't be on top. Everybody can't be the leader. The one that's doing all the work should be the one that's on top. Should be the one with all the lovely houses and cars and the best neighborhoods. He worked hard enough for it. He got educated enough for it. He knew how to build this. There ain't nothing wrong with him having. What do you want to steal from him for? He earned